All right, so moving on to subtracting polynomials, sometimes we need to use the distributive property to do this. And that means distributing the negative in front of the brackets. So for example, if we look at this first example here, we have 10x and then we're trying to subtract 3x plus 4. So we want to subtract that entire polynomial, 3x plus 4, which means we need to subtract the 3x and we also need to subtract the 4. So what we do is we distribute out that minus. Sometimes what students like to do is imagine this is a -1. We are distributing that -1. So we're doing -1 times 3x gives us the minus 3x or -3x. And then -1 times the positive 4 gives you the -4. So we end up then with 10x minus 3x minus 4. And then your last step is just to combine your like terms. So here the 10x and the minus 3x are like terms. Those can be combined to give us 7x. And then we've got that minus 4 on the end. Okay, let's take a look at the next example. So here again, we have a minus sign and then we have brackets. So we're going to distribute out that negative sign to both terms in the brackets. And again, you can imagine there's a -1 out front there. So that leaves us with 9x squared minus 2x squared minus 5x. Okay, and then we're going to combine our like terms, which gives us 7x squared minus 5x. All right, final example here. We're distributing out that negative sign again. Imagine a -1 there if you want. And so we've got 5x. So then we've got -1 times the 3x to give us the minus 3x. But then we have -1 times the -7, which is going to give us the positive 7x you see in that second line. So be careful with those. If you've got two negatives like that, you're going to get a positive. Then we're going to combine our like terms, which here gives us the 2x plus 7. So go ahead and try these exercises, pause this video, and then come on back and check your answers. Okay, and let's do these ones together. So this first one here, I'm going to distribute out that negative sign to give me 8x minus 2x minus 3. And then I can combine my like terms for 6x minus 3. In B, the brackets out front don't really matter because there's no subtraction sign in front of them, so I can just get rid of those. Then I need to distribute out this negative sign here to get minus 5x minus 8. And now I need to think about like terms. I've got two terms with plain x's, or x to the power of 1, and I have two constants that can be combined. So when I combine that stuff, I get 9x minus 5x gives me 4x. And then I've got 3 minus 8 gives me -5. All right, next one, we want to distribute out that negative. So we get 5a plus b minus 1. And so when I combine my like terms, oh, that 5a does not have any like terms, so it's just going to stay like it is. But I have a b and another b, so 1b minus 1b just goes away, becomes 0b. So I end up with 5a minus 1. All right, next example, we're going to distribute out that negative sign. And that leaves us with 20x squared minus 2x plus 7. And then I have no like terms, so that's as simplified as I can go. All right, in E, we're going to distribute out that negative sign. So we get AB minus 13 plus AB. And now I do have two like terms because A is A to the power of 1 times B to the power of 1. Those two are in common. So remember, you can think of these as having a 1 in front of them. So we've got 1 plus 1. That gives us 2AB. And then we've got that minus 13. All right, next one, we'll start by distributing out that negative. So then we get minus 3x squared and then plus 2. And then let's think about our like terms. I see a couple of terms there with x squareds, so those are like. And then I've got a couple of constants, so those are also like terms. And so when I do my combining, I've got x squared minus 3x squared. Remember, that's like 1. So 1 minus 3 gives us -2. So we end up with -2x squared. And on these longer ones, feel free to cross them off as you go so you don't forget anything. Then we've got minus 2x, and then we've got 5 plus 2 gives us plus 7. Okay, next one. Once we distribute out that negative, we've got mn minus m squared, and then minus mn. So here we have two like terms, the mn's, and it's 1 minus 1. Those just go away then to become 0. So our answer then is just negative m squared. All right, h, let's distribute that out. So 13 minus 5x squared plus 2x, and then minus 10. And the only like terms here I have are the constants. So then I get negative 5x squared plus 2x, and then 13 minus 10 gives me plus 3. And last question, let's distribute. And we get 5x squared minus 2x minus 1 minus 3x squared minus x minus 1. And then we need to think about our like terms. So we've got two x squared terms, and then two terms with x's, and then two terms which are just constants. So those can all be combined. And so I get 2x squared once I deal with those two orange terms. And then minus 2x minus another 1x gives me minus 3x, and then minus 2.